Hi and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going over the basics around deductibles, so let's get started. What is a deductible? A deductible is a specified amount that an insured person must pay before the insurance company begins to cover expenses. What types of insurances have deductibles? So there's actually a lot of different types of insurances, but it also can apply to warranties. So let's go over some examples. Health insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, pet insurance, business insurance, travels insurance, and even extended warranties. Also, when you are buying a phone, they'll have warranties too, where they will usually have a deductible if you break your phone, and sometimes they have a deductible if your phone gets stolen, so that way it could be replaced. How does a deductible work? So when you file a claim with your insurance company, you then typically also have to pay the deductible right then and there. Then after you pay the deductible, the insurance company will cover the remaining amount up to the policy limits. This is dependent on your type of insurance policy. Some of them have policy limits, some of them have caps, etc. I don't know your specific case, so I can't give a specific answer, but in general, there are policy limits. One thing to consider is that your deductible is essentially your threshold. So for example, I had posted that my 2017 Honda Odyssey had an AC repair that was necessary, and instead of paying the $2,238.26 it would have cost me to repair it, I only had to pay my deductible because I had an extended warranty. So my extended warranty's deductible was only $100. So instead of paying that $2,238, I ended up only paying $100, and then the warranty paid the remaining like $2,100. What is the difference between a deductible and a premium? So while both of them are what your insurance costs you, the way that you pay them is a little different. The deductible is the amount you pay when you have a claim. The premium is the amount you pay, usually monthly, sometimes annually, and in the cases of car insurance, sometimes every 6 months. That is what you pay in order to have your policy be effective, or therefore say that you are an insured individual. Can you choose your deductible amount? In many cases, yes. So for a lot of different types of insurances, there are different policies that have different levels of deductible. In general, the higher the deductible on a plan, the cheaper the monthly premium is. And the same is in the reverse. So the lower the deductible it is, then generally a higher premium is going to be due. Are there different types of deductibles? Yes, and sometimes the plan can use a combination. The first is a fixed deductible, which means that it is a set dollar amount that you have to pay. Another method is a percentage, and this is generally tied more towards like a home, where you would pay a percentage of the value of the thing, not a fixed dollar amount. Lastly is what is called a split deductible, and that's where each different type of claim could have a different deductible amount, or it could be a different type of deductible. So in the instance of, say, homeowners insurance, you might have different deductibles if it is just like a roof repair. It might be different if it's a catastrophic event. It might be different if it is due to flooding, etc. So in those cases, one might have a fixed amount, another one might be based off a percentage. It varies. And so it's important to understand your policy and its exclusions, as well as the different types of coverages that might be rolled in together. Do you have to pay your deductible up front? Yeah, typically in most cases you are required to pay the deductible in full prior to then the insurance or the warranty kicking in for the rest. Does the deductible apply to every claim? The answer is that it depends on your insurance policy. So in some cases there is a deductible per claim. In other cases it is an annual deductible, meaning that you have to pay that amount within that policy year, and then they cover the rest. Generally that's like health insurance, but there are differences. So you need to understand what type of policy you have and whether or not it's a per claim deductible or an annual deductible. How can I lower my deductible? So oftentimes when you are selecting a policy, you can make changes right then and there and talk about what your options are when it comes to deductibles. In other cases, it is sometimes possible to call up the insurance company and see if you can switch your plan or make changes. Now, when this happens, there are sometimes these wait periods before things become active, etc. So you should contact your insurance broker or the insurance company in order to figure out what is beneficial in your scenario. What happens if you can't afford your deductible? So if you can't afford your deductible, you have a couple of options. So dependent on what happened, you might need to take out a loan, you might need to pull from savings, you might need to contact friends and families, take it out, put it on a credit card. There are some policies and there are some insurance companies that you can call to see if you could put the deductible on a payment plan. It is not a very common thing, but it can be done and has been done during exterminating circumstances. So you don't know unless you try. Another thing is that some insurance policies have deductible waivers. In that case, you wouldn't pay the deductible, but it's on very specific circumstances. So for that reason, I'm making a separate video about that, which you could check out here. Does your deductible affect your coverage limits? No. In general, your deductible amount does not change or affect your coverage limit. Your coverage limit is usually done on different factors, such as dependent on your insurance, age, risk factors, what's going on in the world. Again, it kind of depends on the insurance and what type of insurance you're getting, but having a lower deductible doesn't necessarily change your coverage limit. The policy will have predetermined coverage limits. So yeah, that's the basics around what is a deductible. I hope you found this video helpful. A couple of tips to remember is that insurance policies can greatly vary between policies, between companies, and you can even get similar policies across different places that have different effective dates, exclusions, etc. Like there's a lot of different factors that go into an insurance policy that will affect price and such. So if you are looking for it, I recommend going to an insurance broker and talking to them about your needs so that way they can figure out what is the best for you. Now there's a couple of differences. You can go to an insurance agent who is mainly from like one insurance company, or you can go to a broker which might have a bunch of different companies that they can look at policies for. I also recommend that you review the insurance company's website and their reviews, because there are insurance companies that are known to be lower in quality, but you also sacrifice customer service, and they generally tend to have a higher percentage of denied claims. Regardless, it is always essential that you understand your insurance policy. So when you agree to something, make sure that you contact someone and understand the ins and outs of it. I know it's hard and there's a lot of big words, fancy words, and confusing things, but try to find somebody who will educate you on these things, because you need to know how much it's going to cost you and what things are covered and what is not covered. When you're considering what you want to pay in your budget line, make sure that you are not only paying attention to the premium, but also again to the deductible, so you know how much you are paying out of pocket, and that way you know your target amount that you need to save within either a calendar year, etc., depending on the policy, because it is so much easier to feel prepared when you have a deductible and cash in one go than if you never saved up for it, or you didn't know that your home insurance was actually a percentage and therefore it wasn't a fixed amount, and or you change providers. Like, it's always important to know exactly what you agreed to, so that way if you need to use it, you can use it to the best of your ability. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for checking it out. I hope you found something of interest. I post weekly videos that is either a personal finance topic breakdown or about my personal debt story. So if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing and give this video a like. For those of you who are tuning in again and are current subscribers, thank you so much again for continuing just supporting me with this journey on the channel. I appreciate just watching the subscriber count grow, and I love when you guys put comments and engage with me both here on YouTube or on Instagram or Facebook. In the next video, I will be going over deductible waivers because that is something that I don't think a lot of people know about, but yet a lot of people use and don't realize they're using. So I will make a video on that, and hopefully we will continue talking about different personal finance topics related to insurances because it will impact your financial picture in a number of different ways. And so I am trying to help better educate you and help things be a little less complicated and scary. So if there is other terms that you want to know about, please drop them in the comments down below, and I'm more than happy to make a video like this to answer your questions. So until the next video, I hope you have a great one, and bye!